All right, so Kabelo Primary School pupils in Katlehong have returned to school. This is after the SGB of the school sent out a notice to parents on Tuesday informing them that the school is being closed until the Department of Education addresses their grievances. The SGB says the school's institutional culture has collapsed and they're worried that their children might not be able to write exams next week. Newzroom Afrika's Zola Shalwana is there for us. A community here, Zola, that says they need solutions from the Department of Education, of Basic Education. Any word from the department in terms of speaking to the parents and the school?
Well, Naledi, we are yet to hear from the department any time from now, but what I can tell you is that the SGB says that they did not intend to disrupt the learning process when they sent learners to school, home, and told them not to report to school the next day. Those were desperate measures because they understood that if they did that, then they will get, the attention of the Department of Education and the entire, public, so that they really see how the conditions of the school are. And I'm joined by the chairperson of the SGB. So thank you very much for your time. I mean, when we spoke to parents earlier on, they highlighted the fact that all the issues that the school is currently facing, this is all because of mismanagement of funds.
Good morning, and good morning to the viewers. Yes, partly. But mostly it's because of poor management from the Department of Education. Things are bad because there's not been any maintenance happening at school. Hence, toilets have totally collapsed. We have no working toilets, toilets with no washing basin for hands. Grade R learners, the little ones have got no toilets. They have to urinate on the floor or try to jump into the seats because they can't reach. So electricity is faulty and dangerous. Sewage is spilling all over. Things are bad. Mismanagement, there is, but we have not really tackled the mismanagement of funds. Because if we touch that, the acting principal has been carrying the school banking cards on him, swiping for things that have got nothing to do with the school. In the evenings, on weekends, even on payday, he would swipe at some, takeaway in Tema because he resides in Tema. So there is a bit of mismanagement. And in June, there was a transaction where they paid over 20,000 to Kia, but we don't have a vehicle here. When we engaged, the finance officer, she said they were buying, material, cleaning material. And we simply laughed because, it's Giara, the cleaning material shop, Giara Chemicals, but that one is Kia from the bank statement of the school. Yes, there is mismanagement and a lot of it, but we haven't tackled it. For now, our interest was with, the environment or the physical environment of the school, which is not conducive for proper learning and teaching.
What led to the SGB deciding to send learners home?
We felt we've tried everything, because we've had 6 months of engagement with the Department of Education, up to the level of HOD. But our problems are not being sorted, are not being, given proper, attention. As we speak, we still have a case against myself, the chairperson, and the treasurer, provisionally, thrown out of court, because the acting principal decided to open a case of theft, which never happened, and a case of fraud within the department. And the investigation from the Department of Education, the HOD, found that there was no fraud that happened. And we were found to be innocent. And our case, as I say, SAPS, were thrown out. So those are the attempts to, to frustrate us, so that they deploy whoever they want as the principal. Because what we are fighting here is the department wanting to deploy their own principal, and we suspect they want the acting principal to continue, because they're at cahoots with him. They've protected him so far. Okay. So, yes.
So moving on, what's going to happen, understanding that you also mentioned that these children do not have stationery to learn in class?
The school has not bought stationery the whole of this year. The whole of this year. Remember, we were elected in end of March. And then by April, already we were thrown into prison, into jail. And our functions, financial management functions, were removed, taken by the acting principal and his subordinate, the cleaner. So we're never involved in any finances of the school since then. So the question is, how is the department expecting these educators to actually undertake learning and teaching without stationery? Because there's a lot of printouts that these educators do to teach our kids. But I can tell you now, the school has never purchased any what do you call this? Papers. Even now, we have exams starting next week. We have no paper. The school has got no paper. The question is, where are those question papers going to be printed on?
Thank you very much for your time, sir. Naledi, that was the SGB chairperson of Kabelo Primary School, essentially painting us a picture of how life has been in this particular school for the past 6 months. We are still hoping to hear from the department, the Gauteng Department of Education, about all these allegations that have been made and the concerns that were raised by parents who have learners in the school. Back to you in studio.
Yeah, thanks for that. Zola Shalwana speaking to us there from Katlehong, and she'll be keeping us updated on that.